notepad here. Football is awesome. It is Divisional week here on the Football is Awesome podcast in the NFL, of course, alongside, of course, Mikey B.
You just got really loud, and you have a Take 3 wrestling background on YouTube.
It's okay. I tried to change it. Something's wrong with my computer. I'm not going to worry about it now.
All right.
But I'm promoting our podcast, though. It's okay.
Yay.
So, please, it's 2/3 of 3 Take 3 wrestling.
Yeah.
But I will say, to me personally, this was a very underwhelming wildcard weekend as a totality. I mean, 6 games with 4 blowouts. I mean, Chiefs, Steelers blowout, Patriots, Bills blowout. Last night, Rams, Cardinals blowout. Who am I missing?
Buccaneers.
Eagles. Yeah, the forgotten game of the weekend. The Eagles and the Eagles in the playoffs. I didn't know that.
Hurts, don't it?
That's ouch. Yeah. We had a lot about Jalen Hurts in the future. Like, I love the kid, but I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't know. I'm moving to get
I don't think he's the franchise quarterback in Philadelphia. Maybe somewhere else.
Yeah. So as we were saying, everybody thought the power rankings were only for the regular season. It's not. It's going to be. We're doing this now throughout the playoffs. Last week we started this on the wildcard weekend. We did our top 14. We put the worst 5 teams in the league last week. So we're done with SADs now. We're thinking positive going forward. And these next couple weeks are going to be all about the teams that are remaining in the playoffs. So obviously the teams that we're gonna rank here are teams that are still remaining entering this weekend, divisional weekend. So without further, that's going to make us further ado. Let's get to number 8.
They are the lowest rated team that I had from the group that made it. Their win was not impressive. I'm not impressed by these guys. And if they do what they did against Dallas on Sunday, they'll lose by 30. Give me the 49ers.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
Ding.
There we go. Guess what? Me too. And it's something I saw. I didn't consider a week ago, but now I consider now looking at the last couple of weeks. And they're a dangerous team. I still remain they are a dangerous team. However, I see a concern here. I haven't seen this team put together a complete 4-quarter game.
No.
So Titans lost a couple weeks ago. And we were actually recording a podcast while that game was going on. Great first half, tanked the second. Rams game started slow, won late. This past week, the Cowboys started great, tanked late, almost lost. So, are they games?
Probably should have lost. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. By the way, I know how you feel about this. The end of the Cowboys game with the sneak before the spike, or the spike that didn't happen, should I say? Didn't hate the play call, actually. Didn't hate it. I actually thought the excuse was fucking horrible, but I thought the play call was actually smart. Just get you in a position to get one throw in there.
Probably should have went down about 4 yards sooner.
Yes.
That's just a clock management thing. But I also think you have to realize that a lot of people in the spirit of the play aren't gonna know that the official has to run up and spot the ball. He's so far back that it takes him however long to get there, and they're not running 4 or 5 40s. So I think that's something that in the moment you're never gonna notice that or realize that, oh my God, I need all of this to also happen for me to get this spike off. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't hate the decision. The way it ends sucks because you have an opportunity now to win the game. If you play any kind of defense on the first 2 drives, you probably win the game. You let them basically run it down your throat the first 2 drives. Just here it is, stop it if you can, and they couldn't. Right. But on to the 49ers and away from the Cowboys for a second. They did what they needed to do in the first half, which was establish the run game. Mm-hmm. We said that the run game was going to be the reason why that if they were going to win the football game was going to be the reason why was their running game.
Right.
But they're not doing that against Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Because Aaron Rodgers is going to do the exact same thing that Buffalo did on Saturday night. They're going to score. They're going to score quick. And they're going to let separated shoulder and broken thumb Jimmy Garoppolo have to throw to beat them. And Jimmy's not winning that game with 147 passing yards.
Right. Like if I'm San Francisco and you get the ball first, you get a chance to get the ball first, you get the ball first and play keep away.
and try to eat the entire first quarter.
You're damn right. I totally agree with you on that. And if what we saw this past Sunday is what's going to happen, Green Bay will win that game going away. I agree with you 100% on that one. All right, number 7, who you got?
Who Dey? Give me the Bengals.
Guess what? Me too. Again, they covered the spread by half point. They did a job. Some spots there where they could have got a little weird late. They had a chance to put the game away early, and they didn't do that. But again, first playoff win in 31 years. I'm not gonna hate on that, man. I'm proud of this team. And by the way, Joe Burrow reminds me of Joe Montana. Just for the record.
Good win. Some things that I like, some things I didn't like. What I don't like is the fact that we lost Larry Ogunjobi for the rest of the year to a foot injury, starting D tackle. Very scary knowing that we're going to go up against the return of Derrick Henry and Deonta Foreman without your starting defensive tackle. Little thin on that note, so I'm a little worried about how that's going to play out. Mm-hmm. If this offense keeps going the way that it is, I think that they can go punch for punch with anybody else in the AFC. Jamar Chase is playing out of his ass. And let's I guess address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Jerome Boogler's fucking Whistlegate bullshit.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't think anyone was getting to that football, whether they were running at 100 miles an hour and playing at full speed. Mm-hmm. I think Joe made a great play. I think, if anything, referees need to learn that this is a spot where you eat the whistle and then go back and review it, because all scoring plays are reviewed. You could have avoided all of this fiasco of Whistlegate by just eating the whistle and letting the play finish, knowing that it's going to be reviewed, knowing that you're going to look and see if Joe stepped out of bounds from there. And I think New York could have handled it that way. But once you rule it a touchdown on the field, you can't go back and review it then. You can't go back and do anything else about the whistle and when it blew. And at the end of the day, Jerome Boogler's crew was bad. They were bad all night. That was not the only play that they screwed up all night. The Derek Carr roughing the passer call on the last drive that nobody wants to talk about, that Derek Carr fucking jumped into a defender to get 15 more yards. Guess what? Poetic justice is that Derek Carr threw an interception and end the game. And I'm a Derek Carr fan. Let's not. I'm a supporter of one Derek Carr. I think he's a guy that if you're building your franchise around and Vegas doesn't want him anymore with a new GM and potentially a new coach, guess what? There's about 24 other teams that'll take Derek Carr as their starter.
I wouldn't.
And he's a guy that if he goes somewhere else is going to get a lot of love from their fans. Yes, Derek Carr is someone who the name Carr scares you because you remember his brother and all that stuff. But that guy is a guy that if he's good with the community, he's good with his teammates. He always has his teammates back. Never calls out any of his guys. Hell, let's go back to the Henry Ruggs situation. In a moment where nobody wanted anything to do with Henry Ruggs, Derek Carr was the one that came out and said, "I'm not turning my back on him." As a friend, as someone that I've grown up with, Derek's a guy that if you're looking to rebuild your franchise and you're looking for a quarterback to start with, and Vegas doesn't want him anymore, he's a guy that I would say you bring in tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm 100% agree with you. All right. This might be controversial. Maybe. We'll see where your heads are at in this one. Number 6, you got.
This team only scores touchdowns. We don't punt. We don't do anything else. Give me the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, we have differences here. But they and the thing is the Bills were actually in the spot, and I made last minute modifications. For me. Yeah, but I mean that's the dumbest performance in the see. I mean, against a Pats team that we thought the game a little bit closer. I had Bills win this game comfortably, but not like this. This is totally out of this world. Is this the Bills team now moving forward that we're going to see? Is this it? Is this now they figured it out? Because they've been playing some good football. I mean, more or less the last month since that fiasco against the Patriots in the spot here on Monday Night Football. They've been playing good football.
I don't think you can chalk that Monday night fiasco up to anything more than the weather,
right? And it shows here. And that's two matchups, obviously.
I think that game is an anomaly that you can't really look at from a situation of what would have happened. Because if they would have done the same thing in that game where the wind wasn't blowing 150 miles an hour and they made Mac Jones throw the ball more than 3 times, I think they'd probably find a way to win that game. And that's nothing against the Patriots because they've been playing well all year. Their defense is still probably arguably one of the best defenses. They just couldn't get off the field.
Yeah. Line. If you obviously can't score and defense has to be on the field all the time, it's trouble. Number 6 for me, it's going to be a little controversial here, but go with me on this one. The Buccaneers. The injuries are the problem. The injuries are piling up. And this is what I'm scared now because, like, if you're a Bucs fan, the O-line's getting nicked up now. Now, the guy that got hurt, what's his name? What's his name?
Tristan Wirfs.
Thank you. He might play. He's in a boot right now, that said. He'll be a game time decision pretty much. This is huge because if you can't block Von Miller or Aaron Donald, good luck. And this is where the ride can end. I mean, and again, the Bucs were coming in already vulnerable as it is, and then you add these two injuries here now. Like, you luckily play against Philadelphia, not against somebody else. So I'm a little concerned about Bucs injuries, and I think this is the reason why I put them a little lower. They were higher a little while, and it makes the last one modifications like, the injury is going to be a problem. So we'll see how that goes. Now maybe he plays on Sunday. They're playing Sunday afternoon, so maybe it works out. He's able to play, but right now it's pretty 50-50 right now, and that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So number 5,
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Get the feeling I'm that low for the same reason.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. They looked good to start against the Eagles, and then the injuries started piling up, and then it seemed like their offense just didn't want to play anymore because they were in cruise control.
Right.
I get it. But this is the playoffs. This is one of those things where you got to step on people's throats sometimes, and I understand that. Get the guys out of there, get them healthy. Don't let anybody else get dinged up, stuff like that. But you can't do that at points sometimes against these teams because then you get cold and then they go on a little bit of a run and they put up 14. Next thing you know, this is a ball game. You're like, oh, I guess starters got to go back out there. Then it becomes, are they still ready to go back out there? Because I don't know that they are.
5 for me is the Titans. And I've heard from them lower, but again, we don't know what we're going to see on Saturday with Derrick Henry. We don't know. If he's dominant as he was before the injury, then obviously we have a conversation. We have a topic about Super Contenders. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, that's all I have to go on is Derrick Henry's healthy. He's healthy, or he's going to play. That's what we know. How we look, we don't know. And we'll see. I'm really intrigued by the Cincinnati game against Tennessee. I'm really intrigued by that. So we'll see how that plays out. Number 4, you got.
No change from last week because they did their job after looking sluggish as fuck on the first 2 drives. Give me Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was weird. So I'm watching it with Lauren, my wife, and first quarter, she's like saying, because she remembered the game they played a month ago. She goes, "This will be a lot closer." First quarter goes through, and there's no scoring. They get a fumble with they want, and she's like, "See, I told you it's gonna be a close game." I go, "Honey, just wait." And literally, fucking 20 real minutes later, the game's over.
Yeah.
I can see why they're so concerned because again, this is the thing the Chiefs have been doing all year long. They play down to opponents, and then when the panic meter comes up, okay, we're playing football now. Okay, and then they do the thing.
Yeah, and it's almost like the mouse playing with its food, where it's just like it's the cat playing with the mouse, like swatting it, and then it's like, oh, now I'm gonna attack. Like,
right.
This is the time where you just attack. Like, this is the playoffs. Like,
right.
You got a shot to put up 50 and get this game over with in the first half. Like, I don't know why you're not scoring on every drive.
And the question is, which team do you do that against that all of a sudden will get you?
Buffalo. Okay. Buffalo, the team they play this week.
And that is my number 4. This is going to be a great game. This is, to me, probably the game of the weekend, honestly. We may have a new rivalry in the AFC right now, brewing. Because they met last year in the AFC title game. They met, this year in the divisional game. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. Buffalo's the up-and-coming team. Casey's has been coming for the last 3 years. So, look, anytime you put up 47 points against fucking Bill Belichick, dude, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck where that game's at. You got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo 4, they deserve that. So 3, who you got?
I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
I think the matchup with not having a couple healthy defensive tackles for Cincinnati, it's a very big question on what they're going to get out of that defensive line. Honestly, I think the Titans' biggest problem is going to be they may have to go score for score with that offense. And I don't know many corners that are left in this playoffs that are shutting down Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. So pick your poison and let the other 2 try to figure it out. CJ Uzama's playing really well. So I think the Titans' big thing here is Foreman and Henry need to do the same thing that the 49ers need to do. They need to get the ball. They need to hold it. They need to run it. They need to run it effectively and win the battle of third downs to keep the ball for as long as possible. Because we've learned that Joe Burrow gives 0 fucks and will throw it anywhere on the field. As long as number one is on the field, he may have a chance to catch it. So I think the thing here with the Titans is they got to run the ball effectively and keep Joe and that offense on the sidelines as much as possible.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, this team took a nice little jump. That's the LA Rams. All of a sudden now,
don't jump on the bandwagon now.
I've gone from seeing this team limit to the playoffs now to what I saw last night against Arizona. Yeah, this team could be playing the Super Bowl because now you got Cam Akers healthy. The run game you discussed last week on this podcast. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's take pressure off Stafford a little bit here. Oh, hey, imagine that. Imagine that you run the ball a little bit more, and keep, the defense honest, that you can win some games. And I think this matchup against Tampa Bay is very favorable, given the injuries, too. In fact, I'm going to go so far as picking them to win the game this weekend. Just saying that. And now Odell's playing well. You got, obviously, Kupp is doing what he does. As long as Stafford is making any mistakes, this Rams team, should be fine and should be playing in Championship Sunday. So, who does number 2 work for, Mikey?
The Los Angeles Rams.
This fits the narrative of the whole year. You've been consistent with this Rams team from the word go.
They were number 2 going into week 16, 17, and 18, if not further back. That's the only ones that I have showing up on my computer. Yeah, right. No. This offense has figured it out. Robert Woods' injury was the question mark that I had when he went down. I remember saying that multiple times. Yeah. Odell's got to fit that role. He's got to come in and take that spot, and he has. And they haven't lost a step because they're still getting production from Higbee. They're still getting production from Van Jefferson. They've got the 3-headed monster at running back now with Sony Michel, Cam Akers, and Darrell Henderson. Here's the thing. We've talked about it. Tampa Bay's offensive line is the question mark now going into this matchup. I know West Coast team coming to the East Coast and playing a fairly early game is a little bit of a question. But let's be real here. If there's one team left in the NFC that should scare the Green Bay Packers, it's the Rams. Because guess what? Who's played in fucking Green Bay in December 8 times?
Matthew Stafford. Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I think this is the Rams team that when they're healthy and they're playing balanced football, Stafford's making mistakes. Von Miller, you saw that, get to the quarterback last day in the defense. Yeah.
And here's the thing. They made a guy who's really good at running the football from the quarterback position look really bad.
Yes, he was boxed in all night last night.
What are they going to do with cinder block feet Brady and Aaron Rodgers with a fucked up toe?
Well, Brady with a bad line, too, especially bang the line.
Let's look at the 3 teams that are left. Cinder block feet Brady, broken toes Aaron Rodgers, and fucked up shoulder and hand Jimmy Garoppolo. There's not one quarterback in that threesome that if I'm the Rams that I'm not saying pressure all day.
Yeah.
Get to them. Blitz an extra guy. Make them feel uncomfortable. Let them know that you're here. Because at the end of the day, that's how you're going to disrupt the passing game. That's how you're going to get the ball back and get the ball back into this offense.
I will say that with the way they've been playing and their line being so bad, they can get to them 5-4. Probably. I'm just saying. Number 2 for me, like your Rams is my Chiefs. Number 2. You're consistent. Mine's tanked a little early in the year, but yeah, my concern with KC is obviously discussed earlier, which you said number 4 is that they tend to play down to opponents once in a while, and then when things start to pick up a little bit, okay, you can't be doing it against Buffalo. You ain't doing that this weekend, or against Tennessee, or against Cincinnati for that matter. You did it against Cincinnati actually once, and you lost. So, and that's with the lead. So the Chiefs obviously, but when they're on, holy shit, they're on. And you saw that, and now that McKinnon, remember McKinnon from former Viking, but that's a big wrinkle now in their offense now. So Edwards-Helaire, not being there, it's a problem. But you got McKinnon here to put in some work now. He can add a little wrinkles to the offense going forward. So Chiefs number 2, number 1 is easy for us, I'm sure, right?
Give me Aaron Rodgers.
Same here. I feel much better about the chances when, like I said, when I said on social media on Sunday was not necessarily saying that San Fran is going to win the game. I just thought the matchup gives them problems. But what I saw on Sunday, and what I've been seeing the last couple of weeks now, is that you better put together a 60-minute game against the Packers because this Packers team is much better. It's probably, in my opinion, this is the best Aaron Packers team that he's played on in his entire career. In my opinion, on paper,
the only one that was better was the one that won the Super Bowl.
I argue that this one's better than the Super Bowl team too. But again, they got to finish the job though first.
I think the thing is that defense on the team that won the Super Bowl is better than this defense. I think that's offensively. I think this offense has more firepower, but I think the defense on the Super Bowl championship team was better, and I think that's why overall that team is better than this one.
I'll give you this one. The defense on that team had guys that not just shut guys down, but they made plays and scored. Charles,
that's what I'm saying. They
was amazing that year.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is struggling throwing the ball for some reason. The defense has two defensive touchdowns. Like that defense was getting in the end zone, which is something that if you're getting scores from your defense, then yeah, you have nothing to worry about.
Right. So those are rankings this week. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
Formal predictions. Let's just do it.
All right. AFC game. Tennessee, Cincy, go.
Who day?
You picking Cincy win that game?
Buddy, I'm not turning my back now.
Okay. I'm not saying you should. KC and Buffalo, go.
Give me the rematch between us and the Chiefs.
Okay. NFC time. Packers, Niners, go.
Packers by 1 million.
Holy shit. Okay. And Tampa and Rams, go.
Rams.
I think I agree with every single one except for I'm still on the fence on the Tennessee one.
Sure.
Fence. Everything else I agree with you on. So follow Mike on Twitter at @TheConeyBurn. Take your wrestling podcast every Thursday. Oh, actually every Friday. We record on Thursday. Royal Rumble 2020 watch along's coming this week. That's your
great. More snacks.
More snacks. Oh, I'm getting fat this weekend. So hell yeah. So Mike, talk me your picks. Especially go to the Bengals.
Go Bengals.
So, all right, bud.
Who day?
All right, later.
Later.